I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting for March 16th, 2020. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the roll?
Vaughn.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here.
Shower. Kenny.
Here.
Gustafson.
Here.
Clistic. Belzak.
Here.
5 present, 1 being via phone.
We have a quorum. It takes us to questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Does anybody in the audience have any questions of a general nature they'd like to present to the council? If none, we'll move to the approval of the minutes of March 2nd, 2020. Motion to approve. Alderman Kennedy, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Kenny.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The minutes have been approved. Takes us to receiving of communications. Do any of the aldermen have communications they'd like to share? Alderman Kenny.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had a communication from Walter Metrick via Facebook, and he was talking about went to early voting in Downers Grove for elections, and wanted me to ask you to make the polls in Darien have signs up there telling people to space themselves, and I informed them that was a election board committee that does that. So, but
I saw that as well.
okay, beautiful, and that's all I have.
Yeah, I have 2 communications. The first one is from Lou Bedeau at 7755 Wakefield Drive. Issue with the large holes near the drainage pipes in the retention area of Farmingdale Ridge, and also a large tree branch that's overhanging his property. I actually performed a site visit with Dan Gombach on the property, and Dan's team immediately fenced off some of the major large holes and stuff on the property. And Dan, where are we? We're going to doing some replacement work there, or what are we?
What it is infrastructure repair related to storm water material. It is within a park. According to all the plats, the city has the responsibility to repair those types of structures and or faults. So we're waiting right now for the weather to dry up a little bit, so we're not tracking everything all over the place and making more of a restoration mess. So we currently did barricade the 3 spots that were identified. Also, in regards to the tree branch that you referred to, I know that our park district was in contact with me, and I have not seen the email yet, but apparently there's an owl that's living in that one tree there, and it's on a rare species list, so we're waiting to see if the park district has determined whether or not the owl has left. Ooh.
I was going to say it, but I didn't.
I got a second one from Grace Quack, KWAK at 2510 Abbey Drive. This is one regarding the concern over the proposed development of a car wash at 973 75th Street. I've given the alderman a handout on this information. This property is actually currently zoned unincorporated DuPage County. Okay, it's surrounded by Darien property on 3 sides. Now, unfortunately, because since it is unincorporated DuPage, they don't have to put a public hearing sign up on the property. So I've been working with the various ways and stuff of getting the word out, along with getting signatures and stuff from the residents. The residents that live within 300 feet did receive a mailing and stuff regarding the public hearing, which was supposed to be next Thursday, but of course that's been canceled. So I've been working with other, like the Darien Patch and Facebook and stuff, and getting the word out. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up with the city is that I truly think that this property, since it is surrounded by Darien property, should be annexed into Darien and not allowed to be maintained to be a DuPage property. If this and the thing is, if this car wash, which is just a horrible fit, and I won't get into all the details right now, But anyway, is that even if it came in as a car wash, even if it came in as Darien property, we wouldn't get any tax revenue from that facility. Okay. Now, if it came in as some other type of commercial development and generated sales tax revenue, we would get that revenue. So it, the B2 zoning that Darien has would not allow the car wash, where a B2 within DuPage County does allow for a car wash. So it's just a fact now that since this property is surrounded by Darien property, it should be Darien property. And I've asked the city to take a look at that to see what our options are of pursuing that avenue.
Alderman have a response to Alderman Gustafson? Okay. Anything else? All right, that takes us to the mayor's report. Josh Hargrove was supposed to be here tonight. Josh is the young man at Hinsdale South High School who took it upon himself to create informational flyers regarding the 2020 census. And he passed those informational flyers out at parent nights. And we were going to bring Josh in tonight. We were going to give him a City of Darien pin. And we were going to ask him if he would work to design a banner for us that we could put out on the corner of Plainfield and Cass. But Josh is not with us tonight. We'll do that at another meeting. In addition to that, I'd like to give you an update on our response to the growing coronavirus. Today we completed a video along with a mayor's letter to residents regarding our actions in mitigating the coronavirus. While the coronavirus outbreak is a very fluid situation, changing almost hourly, I would ask Darien residents to view the video and the letter on our Direct Connect e-news. There are a few items from my letter and the video that I'd like to reiterate. First of all, we have made a change in our operating hours here at City Hall. City Hall will be open from 8:30 to 12:30 for lobby services. If you wish to pay a bill, you can do so by dropping off your payment in an envelope and placing it in our depository box located right inside our front doors. You won't be able to get a receipt, but at least you'll be a record of your bill being paid. And I believe we have envelopes there for residents who walk in without an envelope. While we are encouraging all residents to practice social distancing, we are promoting a Darien Helping Darien program. We are a community with a great record of volunteerism. Our service groups, Lions, Women's Club, Rotary, are wonderful at meeting the needs of our community. I'm asking these groups, as well as everyday citizens, to consider how you can help those hardest hit by this crisis. If you have elderly neighbors or know of a senior citizen who are the most vulnerable to this virus, who might need assistance, please give them a call or knock on their door to see if they need help, possibly picking up groceries or assisting them in some small way. If you sense something serious is wrong with regard to their health, do not hesitate in calling 911. We were also informed today that Comcast has enacted the following policies for the next 60 days. Xfinity Wi-Fi will be free for everyone. Anyone who needs Wi-Fi, including non-Xfinity subscribers, can go to hotspot locations and check in. They're going to be pausing their data plan. Comcast wants their customers who are working from home to have access to the internet without worrying about their data plans. They understand that there are a lot of people at home working from home these days, that children are home working on e-learning, and they're not going to be charging for the data. There's going to be no disconnect or late fees. Comcast will not disconnect a customer's internet or assess late fees if they contact Comcast and they let them know they can't pay their bill this period. But it is critical that they let Comcast know that. Educational content. For school-aged children at home, Comcast has developed new educational collections for all grade levels. Now, this information will be something we'll put out on our Direct Connect this Thursday so that people get a fuller picture of what I just tried to explain. I can assure you that all the critical information we receive will be shared with you via our social media outlets. We continue to participate in conference calls with our regional mayors, sharing information as to how we are individually reacting to this crisis. We need your help in following through on our request for social distancing. You are helping others by keeping this in mind when you are out among the population. As someone recently quoted in the Tribune, yesterday I had an idea how my life was proceeding, and today all that changed. All of us are hit daily with the impact of this crisis. Just yesterday, as I sat in my office composing my video and my letter message, I was receiving emails from 1 hour to the next that was changing the data that I was trying to incorporate. This is a very fluid situation. I can assure you that we here at the city are doing everything we can to protect our Darien community by preparing for any potential spread of the virus. Working in concert with one another will assist us in reducing the spread of the virus, and I hope that all of you will work with us in making this a reality.
Mayor, in one addition, you mentioned the change of the office hours, but we will have staff here for phones.
Right.
So we'll take normal phones through the end of the day at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Brian. All right, that takes us to the city clerk's report. Joanne?
No report this evening, thank
Thank
you.
you. City administrator's report.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Department head information and questions. We have several reports from the chief that we're going to delay until our next council meeting. But Greg, I think you wanted to explain something to us today that you discussed with your command staff.
Yes. Tomorrow I expect to put out a press release about some changes to how the police department is going to respond to calls for service with the regards to the COVID-19 flu. We'll be limiting access to the building similar to the City Hall. Police department, though, has a window, so should still be able to make contact. But typically we are much more friendly, and we would take you into a report writing room to have that conversation. We're going to maintain our social distance and our protection by having that conversation at the window. Typically on a response to, say, an accident report, the drivers would be put in the back seat of the car and have a conversation about how the accident happened, fill out the report, do all those things, limit access to the squad car, so those interviews will take place outside of the car. If we're sent to assist the fire department on a medical call, if it's non-emergency, we're going to wait for the fire department and let them make the first entry, and then they'll advise us if we're needed, and then we'll make entry with proper PPE if necessary. If it is an emergency, we have officers are prepared with proper PPEs and personal protective equipment in order to make entry as necessary. Currently, the emergency calls and non-emergency calls will remain the same. Non-emergency calls, however, we are going to start implementing a phone callback. I just saw an email from Willowbrook, Willowbrook Police Department will only be responding to high priority emergency calls. Low priority calls, non-emergencies, delayed call for service, information calls, property crimes. There's a big list. They're going to do those over the phone. We're going to still respond until there's a change. So a number of changes that are coming up with response to by the police department.
Any questions for the chief? Thanks, Greg.
Yes.
Any questions for Dan on municipal services?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, the only thing that we have suspended currently is any type of water shutoffs, number one, which was mandated through the governor, as well as any meter appointments for the next several weeks, so we're not in contact with residents or residents in contact with us, and limiting drivers basically to one person per vehicle at this time to keep some social distancing, as well as assigning lunch, splitting the crews in half for lunches and so on and so forth.
Thanks, Dan. Any questions for?
Dan, I think you were on a conference call with the mayor's and managers conference today, all the
Correct, yes.
public works directors.
With the
and you had a
directors.
actually a good conversation, similar to the mayor's being able to have, so that was, I think, very helpful.
Yeah, and those were really the highlights of it at this point. And again, we're all prepared as emergency responders, and we have a certain amount of PPE in place already, and no one obviously can answer what can we expect? I mean, the water is perfectly safe. The potable water is perfectly safe. Towns that do maintain, including DuPage County, the sanitary district lines, there's been a concern with the sanitary district manholes, if you want to say outside. So the county and other agencies are not doing any type of maintenance, but they are responding to backups for sewage concerns.
Okay, thank you. It takes us to our treasurer's report. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 19/2023 in the amount of $481,519.38 from the listed fund. Payroll for the period ended March 12th in the amount of $258,511.63 for a total to be approved of $740,031.01.
Motion to approve. Alderman Vaughn, second by Alderman Kenny. Any questions? None, the roll.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
Warrants approved. Takes us to our monthly report. Michael?
Revenue expenditure report for the 10 months ended February 29th. General fund, year-to-date revenue, $14,035,231. Expenditures, $10,596,101. Current balance of $4,253,379. Water fund, year-to-date revenue, $7,705,445. Expenditures of $5,434,966. Current balance, $3,907,724. Motor fuel tax fund year-to-date revenue $666,173. Expenditures $511,358. Current balance $503,157. Water depreciation fund year-to-date revenue $17,483. Expenditures of $371,308. Current balance $2,207,735. And capital improvement fund year-to-date revenue $285,440. Expenditures of $5,110,517. Current balance of $4,212,178.
Any questions for Mike? That takes us to the standing committee reports. Any of the aldermen have reports for the council tonight? Alderman Belzak.
Thank you, Mayor. The next municipal services meeting will be a week from today on Monday, March 23 at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
One thing that I failed to mention, and that was that we will, from this point on, not be holding any committee or commission meetings.
And I guess it won't.
And I probably
Guess
should have
it's
mentioned
canceled.
that earlier. That was mentioned earlier today, but that's something that we made that decision on today. So those items that you would be discussing would be placed on the new agenda items in the city council meeting.
Okay.
So and rather than just have the 3 aldermen, it'll be discussed by the entire council. Same thing with the police committee. Same thing with admin finance.
We were supposed to have a police committee meeting tonight. It was canceled.
Mayor Marquez?
Yes.
I know that, as you mentioned, the committee meetings are canceled, but I did want to point out that on Monday, April 6th, our next city council meeting will also be a public hearing to approve the next year's budget.
Thank you. All right. Questions takes us to questions and comments, agenda related. Anyone in the audience have any questions regarding anything on our agendas? If none, it takes us to old business. There being none, it takes us to our consent agenda. In our work session tonight, we decided to pull several items, expenditure items, off of this agenda. Items C, items E, item G, and item H have all been pulled from the agenda. Okay? And I'll read what remains. Item A, consideration of a motion to grant a waiver of the raffle license bond requirement for the Darien District 61 Educational Foundation. Item B, consideration of motion to approve the annual 4th of July parade on Saturday, July 4, 2020, beginning at 9:30 a.m., sponsored by the Darien Lions Club, and authorizing the police department to assist in traffic control and authorizing the temporary closure of streets for the 4th of July parade from the Jewel parking lot north on Cass to 71st Street, east on 71st Street to Clarendon Hills Road, and south on Clarendon Hills Road to Hinsdale South High School. Takes us to item D, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution rejecting all bids for the preparation and painting of the communication tower located at 1041 South Frontage Road. Takes us to item F, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution to reject all bids for the 2020 roadside ditch maintenance program for the city of Darien for the layout and replacement of storm sewer pipes and structures and grading. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, second by Alderman Vaughn, and the roll.
I don't know, does Art Donner want to say anything on the,
It's on the consent.
Like I said, you would
Okay.
have done it earlier.
okay.
Belzak,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The consent is passed. Takes us to new business. There being no new business, we arrive at questions and comments and announcements. Anyone on the council have anything they'd like to share with the council or with the audience?
I do, Mayor. Just, I know that the city staff is preparing some additional information for residents who are seeking resources and, ways to get assistance during these challenging times. I did want to point out that already on the city website, there is a tab under city services for senior services that, people can access information and resources.
Thank you, Mayor. As I stated earlier today, too, it's my hope that some of our community organizations, service organizations, which currently are not having any meetings, if they would feel it, they have the time, if they would possibly volunteer their work for some of our food basket programs. Our food basket programs are primarily run by a lot of senior citizens who, if they don't show up, the work of accumulating that material does not get done. So if I could ask the service groups within the city if they would recruit members of their organizations to assist Our Lady of Peace and Our Lady of Mount Carmel with their food basket programs, that would be most helpful. And again, I mentioned this in my letter today, and I mentioned it in my video, and that is that if you watch the news media all day, you're going to come away with the perception that the world is falling apart, and that's simply not true. That you need to get information from credible sources. You need to rely on the Center for Disease Control, the Illinois Department of Public Health, DuPage County Department of Public Health, and the information you get from us, because we glean that information from those organizations. If you do that, then you're getting the correct information. We need to understand that we're going to get through this. This is going to be, we're a strong and we're a very vibrant people in this community and throughout the state of Illinois. And this is something that I think we're up to the task. And I think it's something that we're going to get through, and we're going to get through that together. And I just like everybody to keep that in mind when they're facing the difficulties that this crisis is putting upon us. Remain calm. Don't panic. A lot of the anxiety has resulted in shopping shelves empty. We all need to shop. We all need those groceries. I've had people tell me they've had difficulty finding some of the necessities they need to find, and other people are walking out of the store with 12 gallons of milk. So, I guess what I'm asking is, let's practice some patience. Let's remember that we are stronger when we do this together. And with that, I'll just leave it to my counsel. Anything else?
The one thing is, I know so many people, and I've said it before, they get their information off of 140 characters. They go whatever they can find on Twitter, whatever they can find on Facebook, whatever is right there in front of them. I went to LinkedIn this morning and I sought out infectious disease doctors to see who was in there and what things that those people were saying. And I found one, up on the northwest, off the North Shore. He was on a podcast. So I was able to listen to somebody to get better information from the people who actually know what's going on, as opposed to, I heard it from my neighbor whose son is working with somebody. So that's
Anything else?
Mayor, obviously I'm calling in remotely, but your City of Darien letter and video has gone out on email, And I highly encourage all residents to listen to your message and read the email and share it because it is a very informative message. And once again, stress getting your information from reliable sources, but also taking the opportunity as we spend a great deal of time at home with, members of our family to turn off the news and take advantage of spending time, whether it's putting a puzzle together, supporting our students as they e-learn, and also trying to reach out and call those people that might be home alone and not have the ability to have someone present with them, but to maybe spend some time with them on the phone and make them feel not so alone.
By the way, just to add on to what Alderwoman Sullivan is saying, the video and the newsletter will also be posted on Nextdoor
And Facebook.
and
yes.
Facebook. And we really, if you're not getting any Darien Direct Connect e-news, please sign up to get Darien Direct Connect e-news. It's a great vehicle. We've just revamped it. It has a very nice look to it. It's more precise. We've gotten a lot of compliments on it. But it's our way of letting you know what's going on in the city, and this is crucial this week that we get information out to you. So please take advantage of that.
And Mayor, this letter is going out to each household, right? The letter that you wrote.
The Direct Connect e-news, the over 4,000 homes that get that now.
But are we going to mail it to homes too for the senior
We
citizens
weren't going
that
to
don't
mail
get
it. It's so fluid. By the time you get something like that out, I think the message is help your neighbors, give copies to your neighbors that might not be on social media, repost it on Facebook, and try to get it out best you can. And, as much as we're trying to get information out, there is not anybody that has not been watching something on this. So again, I think the timeliness of a written letter would just be outdated by the time it went out. But
I think I'm speaking more specifically to, like, if you need financial support, food, that kind of stuff, like, for the folks that probably don't have
We
the means
can put
to.
out some additional information with our Thursday edition of that.
But you're talking about a letter to
A letter
people.
to, like, senior citizens that may not have access to the internet or,
Well, I think that's again where we come back to neighbors, church, and some of the local organizations reaching out to them, and hopefully, many of the seniors are not shy about calling in still.
Right.
And I think during this period, who's ever might be watching, or you're telling your neighbors, if nothing else, call. The mayor put his number, on the information, and they can call here at City Hall, and we'd be more than happy to talk to anybody and get information out that way also.
I told people in the video that I'm here every day, and if they want, they can call me at 630-353-8108, or they can email me. If they want to come in, I'll stand 6 feet away from them,
588-2300.
and I'll talk to them. But I want people to feel that they have an outlet. They have a place to go, people to contact. I think one of the best things we could do as a community, and I've seen this community do this before, is really reach out and help one another. It's my belief that with the great service organizations we have in this community, that those organizations will reach out and assist us. I'm making a personal plea tonight to the Lions, the Rotary, the Women's Club. Please help us help our seniors and help our population that is most vulnerable to this crisis. I really would like to see a response from the leaders of those organizations telling me, yeah, we're ready to step up and do that.
And one other just came to mind too with the hit the businesses will be taking. A lot of the businesses, the drive-throughs are still open. They'll carry the food out, and some of the local businesses are making arrangements to make sure people have the ability to go and still get food there and bring it home. And I think again, to continue to support the businesses is critical, and people should just call. If you want to call any of the restaurants in town, see how they're handling this, save you from cooking some meals, and don't want to forget them.
I've been getting direct connect for that for the past few months. I did not get this week's. And I
Well,
specifically
you didn't get
looked
Thursday?
for it. No, it didn't come to me. Did everybody else get theirs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
But now today's just went out.
Yeah, at 7 o'clock I got that one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else, motion to adjourn. Alderman Kenny, second by Alderman Vaughn, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, Mary.